Okay, so for this next construction, we're going to actually construct the midpoint of this segment CD that we copied onto this line. Okay, so the first part of this construction actually requires you to do just a little bit of guesswork. So I'm trying to find the midpoint of this line CD. So for the first part, I'm just going to kind of guesstimate, that it's probably somewhere in this area. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but it's going to be somewhere around here. So once you've kind of done your guesswork, and you're going to be doing this on your own paper, so again, if you need to pause the video to stop and do this step, then you can go ahead and do that. Okay. So do your guesswork, and then we'll go to the next step. So once you've kind of figured out what general area you think the midpoint is in, that's where the compass is going to come in. So you're going to take your compass and you're going to place this center bracket on top of point C. Then you're going to come out here and you're going to choose a length to create an arc. Now the length that you're choosing needs to go past what you guessed the general area of the midpoint would be. So for me, I know that mine needs to go past this line right here. So I'm going to put it right here, just a little bit past where I'm guessing my midpoint area is. Okay. Once again, just like the last construction, whatever dot you end up picking, you need to remember which one you chose, because in a minute, we're going to use that same dot on the other side. So I'm going to take my pencil, okay? Now I'm remembering that the dot that I'm using is going to be at about this 2.5 mark, right here, lining up on this ruler that's on the edge. Okay? So I'm going to place my pencil inside of this, and then you're going to draw an arc, okay? And you may need to make it kind of big. Okay, so it's okay if it kind of intersects up here. You want it to go kind of through the middle here. So I want the top to kind of cover the middle, and I want the bottom to kind of cover this middle space. Okay, so once you've done your first arc, and again, take a minute to do that step if you haven't done it already, and then when you're ready, unpause the video. Okay. So once you've drawn your first arc, for your second arc, you're going to take that compass and you're going to flip it around and place the bracket on top of point D this time. Now remember I said you need to remember which dot you used before, because now we're going to use the same dot but on the other side. So if you forgot, it's fine. Just go back and double check. So I used this one right here. Okay. So when I flip it around, I need to use that same dot. So I'm going to place that bracket on top of point D. Okay. There's the dot that I used. My pencil is right there. Okay. Use your finger to hold this in place. Put your pencil in the dot, and then create that big arc. Okay. So now, if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that my two arcs intersect up here and down here. Okay. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you've created your second arc, and then when you've done that, unpause the video because we're about to get to the midpoint. Okay, so once you've created your second arc and you've labeled where those two arcs intersect, this is where we're going to use our straight edge. So we're going to come in with this ruler, and you're going to connect those 2 points with your straight edge. Now what you've just drawn is actually the bisector of this line CD. So as a reminder for what a bisector is a line, ray, or segment that divides a segment in half. So this line is our bisector, which means that this point right here is our midpoint. Now, to prove this to you, okay, we're again going to use our patty paper. So if you take your patty paper and place it on top of this line, we'll copy CM. We'll call this point M for midpoint. Okay. There's CM. Okay. Now, if this is truly my midpoint, then the length of CM should be the same as the length of M to D. So if I take this length and put it over there, they're the same. So this is truly my midpoint of CD.